Hey, everybody. Good morning. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Betty. How is everybody this morning?
Great.
So today we are going to be traveling to Burgundy again. Hold on one sec. Hi, Tina. Welcome. One of the questions I always have is how many people have traveled through Burgundy and are familiar with the region? It's always something that we like to know. We'd like to find out. Uh, in fact, we'll probably send you a survey at the end of the third webinar on Burgundy, just so that we can get a better sense of what the interest is of the region and how many clients you send. And I think that it's always good for us and the tourist board to have an idea, right? Today, I want to welcome Emmanuel. Emmanuel, say hi. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. And Christopher Kelly. Hey, Christopher. Nice.
Hello.
And
Nice.
I also want to introduce everybody to Francesco Brazzini, the fellow that none of you have probably seen, but has always been kind of the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain, making things work. He is the head of our marketing, and so welcome, Francesco.
Hello. Well, happy to be here.
It's great to have you here. So I'm actually going to start. So good morning, Johnny. Good morning, everybody. Today we're going to be visiting the most northern part of the region of Burgundy. It's an area filled with unbelievable things to experience. And this is the second of our webinars on Burgundy. And the next one in May is going to be focusing on gastronomy, which is near and dear to my heart, as is the entire region. This is a region that's filled with great wineries, historic towns, beautiful, beautiful properties that we can book your clients into. And some of you may not be aware, but what easy access it is from Paris. Parts of the region, in fact, are just 1 hour from Paris. And if some of your customers who are in Paris for 3 or 4 days and want to experience Burgundy for even only a day, and Emmanuel and I were talking about this the other day, they can in fact take the train to the charming town of Sens, one of the oldest towns in France. It's filled with lots of great restaurants where they can have wonderful lunch, maybe coq au vin, beef bourguignon, some snails, great wine. They can visit a beautiful 12th century Gothic cathedral. It's a beautiful, beautiful town to just wander the streets of. There's a lovely old town with lots of beautiful shops that they can go into. So it's a wonderful way to spend a day if you have lots of time in Paris and you want to just kind of escape. You don't just, it's just not about going to Normandy. You can experience Burgundy in a day if that's what you want to do. Not the only way to do it. For us, it's a view of little slow down a little bit and have a better experience in 2 or 3 days. That's for us the right way to do it. This area of Burgundy is filled with lots of history. In our last webinar on the region, we talked a little bit about how the Burgundians originated from a Germanic tribe that came from the Baltics and then settled in what we know as Burgundy today around the 4th century. During the Middle Ages, this part of Burgundy was home to some of the most important churches and monasteries in all of Western Europe. One of them is the town of Vezelay, which we're going to visit later. And it was one of the starting points for the pilgrims, and even today, going from France to Santiago de Compostela. And we'll learn more about this wonderful town in a few minutes. And as you know, it's also one of France's main wine producing areas. And this part of the region is where we'll find the great vineyards of Chablis. That wonderful white wine, along with great wine, comes great stinky cheese, which is one of my favorites, and one of them is Depoise, but that's another story. And today we're going to introduce you to Emmanuel Hazard from the Burgundy Tourist Board, as well as to Christopher Kelly, and he is in the town of Vezelay, two folks who I've known for quite a long time, and they're going to take you on a great trip through the region. So now let me pass this on to Johnny, who let us know how to reach the region. So thanks, everybody, and enjoy the trip.
Hi, everybody. Good morning again. And practically, Tom says everything that I was supposed to say.
Oh, no.
Really, the city, the region is at the closest point is on just 1 hour from Paris. And is as Tom said, is a region that has a lot to offer. Is really worth the trip and spend some few days because there are so many things beside the wine and the gastronomy to really experience. As Tom says, one of the city, the Vezelay, is the starting point for France for the Santiago de Compostela trip that by the way, I did it. Not obviously from Vezelay because it's way too far, but I did the last 80 miles in Spain, and it's really an experience that is a great experience. Obviously, starting from Vezelay, it needs much more than a week to walk up to Santiago de Compostela, but is the ambiance of the location and the spirit of the location that worth the trip. Beside, as I said, the wine, the Chablis, and that is really very known and very good wine. So this is where we are today, and I'm sure that you will enjoy the presentation made by the two friends that we have today with us, and so I will not take much more time, and I will pass the next person that we're going to talk about the destination. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
Great. So, Emmanuel, I think that you're going to
yes.
take us. You're going to start, right? So
yes,
we can go to the next slide. I think
that's it.
There you go. Now we see you live.
Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for attending to our webinar, and welcome to Burgundy, to north of Burgundy. So now we'll have a small trip all together, and maybe next time just really in the region. I hope so. So why choose Burgundy over any other destination in the world? I have to convince you with Christopher today.
That's going to not be very difficult.
So as you can see on the map, we are the very north, as Tom said, of the region. So the part is Chablis region, Chablis and Vezelay region. And so I propose you to have our first stop in Auxerre. Auxerre is a nice, small medieval city, which is on the banks of the river Lyon, as you can see. And the best way to visit Auxerre is to walk in the pedestrian city center, to feel the atmosphere, and to make pictures of the stone of the city, of the wood of the city, and maybe have lunch on a boat on the river. So here you can see on the left part, on the left slide, the old medieval city center, which is pedestrian. As you can see, people are walking. There's a nice atmosphere from spring to autumn. You can stop and have a drink at the bar, and you have then one of the most beautiful abbeys of that little part of the region, which is Abbaye Saint-Germain, that you can of course visit. So of course, when we speak about Chablis, you think, oh, Chablis. You know, maybe you know Chablis, but maybe you didn't know that Chablis was in Burgundy, because many times people tell me, I would like to come to Chablis and to Burgundy, which is very simple, you know, because it's really in the region, and this is one of the big wine name, famous names of our wines. So just to remember you that in Burgundy, we have almost only two types of grapes, which is very easy. So Pinot Noir for red wines and Chardonnay for white wines. And in Chablis, we just have Chardonnay, but we have about 33 Grand Cru in total in Burgundy, and we have Grand Cru in Chablis. So we have wines from Petit Chablis to Grand Cru. That is to say, from a bottle about less than 10 euros, then less than $12, until maybe 100 or more for Grand Cru wines. So here we are in Chablis. Chablis, the capital of the wines of that northern part of the region. And here, wine and gastronomy is everywhere. So Chablis is very close to Auxerre. It's 20 minutes from Auxerre. And so imagine that we are driving on a very nice small road, and we have the vineyard on our right, on our left, and then we arrive in the village, because Chablis is, I can say a village, it's small. So the first introduction to Chablis wines, you can find it in the Cité des Vins, which has just opened last year. And it's a very good introduction to Burgundy wines, and especially to that Chablis wines. Then you will learn everything about Burgundy wines, about the terroir, and you will have the keys then to go and visit winemakers and have tastings. So let's go to the Cité des Vins all together.
Welcome to the Cité des Climats et Vins de Bourgogne in Chablis. So here you're in a special museum, interactive. There is a lot of video, movies, and if you take your watch and you do like that, you can choose your language, French, English, or German. So I will choose English language, and now I can go into the parcours, the scenography, into the museum. Follow me. Actually, we've got 3 different cités in Burgundy. Mâcon in the south, Beaune in the middle, and Chablis, where we are actually. And now you've got the entry of the museum with several movies. First of all, this movies is about the life of the wine growers. And they just say to you, you're welcome. Here, you've got a video, a movie of 9 minutes, and it's about the history of Burgundy for several centuries. Here you can see how the wine growers are working the wines. You get 4 different seasons. And after, you can choose the season that you want. For example, we can choose spring.
Je me présente, Jean-François Bordelais, viticulteur à Maligny. Nous sommes viticulteurs de père en fils depuis 1590.
And after, you've got a question with several answers. You choose the answers that you want. It's just a little game that you can find here in this museum. Here you can see cabot. It's a cabot. It's the name of the little houses that you can find in the vineyard near Chablis. And here, for us, a cabot, it's a little area, a little place for the children, and so they can play. It's a game about the vineyard, the grapes, and it's very, very interesting for them. It's for the children until 12 years old. And we got 4 different cabots here in this museum. Here, it's a map of the north of Burgundy. You've got Vezelay, Joigny, Auxerre Roi, the Chablis soil, Tonnerre soil, and to finish, Châtillonnais. Here, you've got different way to read the map. You can see the sun on the map, the water, the ground also, and to finish, the terroir. So here, it's an aroma cellar. You got 6 different flavors about the white wines, like white flower, like lemon, and different types of flavor for the white wine. And here, you've got 6 different flavors for the red wines. You've got the red fruit, for example. You've got flavor of coffee, of vanilla. Yeah, smells very well. And also leather. Types of flavor for the white wine. And here you get 6 different flavors.
So the city divides just in the middle of the village, so it's very easy. But then we want to visit the vineyard all together. So the best way is to go and visit a winemaker. The particularity of the region is that the winemakers themselves welcome visitors. They do like to welcome visitors. They have a very warm welcoming, and they love to share their joy, their secrets, and taste with the visitors. You can, and another suggestion is to ride bicycle, and so e-bike or normal bike. But maybe if you want to know more about Burgundy wine, the best way is to have a wine tour. So imagine you buy the wine tour, and we go to the vineyard. Your guide will explain everything about the landscape, the terroir, and then he will bring you to a winemaker where you will be able to taste several wines, compare, know why you prefer this one or that one. There are no bad or good wines. There are wines that you like, or wines that you don't like so much. And very often it depends on the moment you are having your wine, and it depends the person you are sharing the moment with.
Always the case.
Sure. So then we are in the evening, and we must rest. We must have dinner and rest. So one of my favorite places in that part of the region is Château de Vaux-de-Lugny. Château de Vaux-de-Lugny is in the countryside. It's a wonderful place. They have 14 rooms, if I remember well. There are five. If this is a 5-star castle hotel, it's the owner is a woman, and the restaurant is 1-star Michelin. But let's visit together Château de Vaux-de-Lugny, and you will be able to choose your table and your room for tonight.
Welcome at the Château of Vaux-de-Lugny. Welcome to the Château of Vaux-de-Lugny. We are here in Burgundy, near Vezelay. We have 14 rooms in the chateau. We have 14 hectares around the chateau. We have a nice swimming pool, which has been one of the best swimming pools in France in 2008. And we also have a restaurant with 1-star Michelin since 2019. Welcome to our bar. Welcome to the chateau. This is David, our head waiter. Welcome to the Bourbon room. Welcome to the tea room. Welcome to our dining room. We are one Michelin star restaurant since 2019, and we open from Friday evening to Tuesday. And this dining room is really recent because we just opened it in September 2023. And as you can see, it's really at the backyard of the chateau, which gives us on our park and also in the garden. And our restaurant is also open on Wednesday and Thursday night for our resident guests only. Welcome to our kitchen.
during summer, you can have dinner in the garden, which is really very pleasant too.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, is that these pictures were pictures that this is something that was taken now. So, in fact, in the summer and the fall, it's absolutely beautiful.
It is.
And its location is great. So,
yeah, very, very good.
Easy to get to Vezelay.
Yes, it's at maybe 6 minutes from Vezelay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But,
So what's our next?
so Burgundy
Here
has a very rich heritage from prehistory to present days, and among all the cities or villages or monuments that we can visit, I would like to focus tonight, for me, in the morning for you. I would like to focus on the UNESCO sites, because in the region, thank you. In the region, we have in Burgundy, we have 4 UNESCO sites. And among of these 4 UNESCO sites, tonight we have Christopher from Vezelay. So Vezelay is Vezelay, and the village itself is UNESCO certified. But now I think, Christopher, you will be much better than me to present your lovely village.
Yes. So Vezelay is an exceptional place. It was the first, with Versailles, one of the first 4 sites in the world to be recognized as a UNESCO site. It has attracted people, millions of people over the years, and including kings and queens, presidents, and others. It's a place which is rather like Stonehenge or like the pyramids. It's a solar temple. So at the top of this very beautiful hill with a medieval city, there is the 12th century abbey church called the Basilica, which, depending what time of year you come, you can see, for example, the center of the church, there's a path of light at the summer solstice. It's quite phenomenal. It's unique worldwide. It's the only church in the whole world that has such an exceptional play of light with the stone. It's very beautiful.
Christopher, when that happens, how filled does the town get?
Well, what we're really lucky is that the sun moves slowly. So all through the month of June, you can see this phenomenon. The one day you must never come to Vezelay is the solstice day, the 21st of June, because you don't see anything. There are too many people. But otherwise, it's fine. And the winter solstice, few people travel in the winter, but it is incredibly beautiful because the sculpture is exceptional, the 153 capitals. And they are lit up like a theater projector that lights up each capital at that time of year. And likewise in the spring, at the moment, the light crosses the whole church in a straight line. And so whatever time of year you come, it's just beautiful. Wow. And that's often perhaps what marks people the most in the place is the beauty. There's also the beauty of the town, the setting. It's what they call, you might call in America, a sacred mountain. It's the top of a hill, and it's been a place of worship well before the Christians. It's also, some people come for this reason, it's an energy center. It's a ley line center, and it's very powerful. I've experienced things with the American villa from New York, quite a famous lady, and her chauffeur was completely taken aback by what he experienced in this place, which was linked quite simply to the energy. So people do come just for the beauty, but also to resource. We were lucky, we've got 2 or 3 good hotels, very good hotels. It's a sort of special place to come to. It's also very convenient, what Emmanuel said at the beginning. We do have people who just come and they stop for 3 or 4 hours on their way down from Paris to Beaune or to Dijon. It's a nice place to stop and take time before moving on. Then people who have more time, of course, they stay. And there's also the walking, the hiking, the biking around. Mind you, biking is, you have to be an electric bike. But there we are.
It's a very hilly town.
It's a very hilly town, exactly. It's also historical, of course. There's a king called Saint Louis who was famous for amongst other things, because of Notre Dame and the Sainte Chapelle in Paris. But he came to Vezelay 3 times. Philip Augustus, Richard the Lionheart, the Crusades, 2 crusades were preached there. It's just got a lot of things have happened in this place. And to this day, there's a very lovely modern art museum, which is linked to the modern art museum in Paris, Beaubourg. You can see some Picasso, Kandinsky, Matisse, etc. Because they all came to Vezelay, because it's an inspiring place. And to this day, we're very lucky. We also have a lot of music here. The Burgundy has set up what's called the Cité de la Voix, and there's a festival, a major festival every month, each August. But there's also every day in the summer there are recitals in the basilica, which are free. So it's a cultural, artistic, spiritual, resourcing, inspiring place. Right.
My experience coming and visiting the town has always been just so wonderful. You feel the energy in the town.
You do. Yeah, that's it's a bit of a privileged place. We're very lucky as well because it's not the best known place in France. It's quite preserved, and it still has locals who work there and live there. There's a village life in it. It's got a lot of charm to it. There's sort of beautiful flowers in the streets. Some of that charm, it's not too polished yet. So it's a very lived-in place.
I would definitely agree.
Yeah.
And we have a video that you had put together, so we're going to present that now.
Okay.
Welcome to Vezelay. As you can see, we've got the ramparts here. In the Middle Ages, it was a fortified city. It was as important as London in the 12th century. What made its importance were the relics. Relics are worth gold in the Middle Ages. And here there were the relics, or there are for some to this day, of Mary Magdalene. Mary Magdalene is the most colourful, exceptional Bible figure. Her story traditionally is from someone who is sometimes considered as a prostitute, will be transformed by her encounter with Christ and will follow him to the end of his life, and then will be the first witness to the resurrection. So all the pilgrims who came here hoped to have the same experience of a total transformation in their own lives, thanks to an encounter with what they would call love. At the time, the pilgrims crossed the whole of Europe. As you can see, they came from Hungary, they came from Poland, and they crossed the whole of Europe to go to Santiago. When they came through France, there were 4 possible gates. Paris here, Vezelay, Le Puy, which goes, these children are from Le Puy, and Arles. They all converged on Santiago. You have to imagine that at the time there are literally thousands of people going every year to Santiago. And Vezelay becomes so famous because of the relics of Mary Magdalene. Another important aspect is Europe its identity as we know it today was created thanks to all these pilgrims crossing and meeting and exchanging. You see here on this, at the center here, you have a hand. Can you see it? Yes. Which hand? Is it the left or the right? Left. Yes. Would you like to go and put your left hand there, please? And you push. Push, push. Okay, thank you. And in we go. Come on in. But it's more than poetic, because each measure plus the next one equals the next one. It's like our body. In between the vertical and the horizontal, you have here the square of the transept with the crossing. This model represents the basilica under the path of the sun. Here at the summer solstice, when the sun is at highest, the days are the longest. Here at the winter solstice, when the sun is at lowest. Behind me you can see the facade of the basilica. It was added on in the 13th century. It's Gothic. The rest of the building inside is Romanesque. It's 12th century. Most of it is 1120 to 1140 Romanesque. The entrance is 1140, 1150. And the choir is the beginning early Gothic. It's the end of the 12th century. The architecture here in Vezelay, as you can see, by the perspective that it gives, it invites us inside. The whole idea of the design or the architecture is designed to invite the pilgrim to go from the world outside to the world inside. So here in Vezelay we have the possibility of a unique experience, which is just to take time to observe the Romanesque nave, to let it sort of seep in, to be impacted by it. The different colours of the stone, the ribs that are brown, beige, that comes from Muslim architecture in Cordova. Here we have an example of exceptional Romanesque architecture. Traditionally, Romanesque architecture is very dark because the heavy stones above mean that it pushes the walls outwards, so you have to have short, stocky walls. Here there's a new invention, which is in between the ribs there are what's called cross springers, and they enable us to put windows actually in the arch above, whereas traditionally the windows would have been with barrel vaulting underneath, and so much darker and much less high. Vezelay is now also renowned for its wine, particularly the white wine, which is in many ways similar. It's a Chardonnay to Chablis. It's won several prizes recently. You can buy it in the States as well. And all this is thanks to a famous chef called Marc Menot, who replanted the vines about 45 years ago now. Vezelay became very rich because it's a place where the climate is mild, never too cold. There are crops. There is very good stone below the ground, which was then taken down the rivers to Paris. A lot of bridges and buildings in Paris are built with the stone from this area. The trees, the forests were cut to give firewood for Paris, for it to be heated. And this is also one of the reasons that the area has always been very rich and cultivated.
Thanks, Christopher. That was really such a great example of the town. That there was just one segment that in there that I always found to be so interesting. Listening to you talk about the measurements of how the cathedral is put together.
Yeah, that's for sure. The way it's built is that you don't have the metric system at the time. So what you have is the human body, and so it's a measurement which is all linked to harmony. And what's really interesting is to make the link, which you can really experience in that visit, as you're quite right, when you go via the Maison de Visiteur, of ourselves. And it's really what medieval man was like, or humanity, where they were very aware that they were part of the cosmos, of the universe. And so our measurements correspond to what we find in the spiral, which is also what we find in the universe and in nature. So it's a very linked society. And the whole idea is to enable people to realize that we are a part of that greater universe, and that these builders knew how to bring that into sort of concrete reality in the buildings they did. And that's also, as you said at the beginning, that energy people feel is because the place is inspired on that level as well.
And the amazing thing is that it goes back 1,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not something that we're just coming to discover today.
No.
Yeah, it's well. In fact, our ancestors they were steeped in it.
That's right.
Yeah, it's
Beautiful.
it's very beautiful.
So thank you very much on that. I think
the detail, Tom, is that there's if you take the plane to Paris this summer via Air France, there's now an airplane which has been baptized Vezelay, and on those planes, Air France planes, you'll be drinking Vezelay wine.
Oh, how nice is that? How good is that? Good for them.
Voilà.
You know, I think now we're gonna look at. There's a beautiful hotel in town that I actually stayed in and enjoyed meals in, and it's a lovely place for any of your travelers who would like to visit the town. It's literally located right in the center of the town, with beautiful views. Chris, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, it's a family hotel. The Queen of England, Elizabeth, she came to stay there, and many others. It was recently taken over by a family who had a very well-known hotel in Normandy, and they have really changed that hotel into a hotel it was 3-star, it's now 4-star, and it's very good quality. The restaurant, I think it's the best. Has it's best qualified by Guten Meal in northern Burgundy. They've got a very good chef. So it's a good welcoming. It's a family institution, and you get that feel when you go there as well. There are 39 bedrooms, so there's a lot of you can come as a small group or bigger group or whatever. but it remains a very sort of personal hotel, and it is a privilege. There's no doubt about that, to sleep in Vezelay, because there aren't many hotels, and the fact of waking up in Vezelay, having time in the evening in Vezelay, is a great privilege. People, they just often say so.
And the walk from the hotel is close. It's lovely narrow streets, beautiful walk.
It's a 10-minute walk if you want to go the most direct, or if you take the ramparts around the whole city, medieval city, that's about 25 minutes. That's with beautiful panoramas over all the surrounding countryside.
That's right. You're way up on a hill overlooking all of the vineyards, the fields. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. Wow.
And what is our next? What is our
We
next?
have the video. We have the video.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Let's launch it. This gives us a good impression of the property.
The Hôtel de la Poste et du Lion d'Or is an old relay of the 18th century. Indeed, it is an authentic building with a long tradition of hospitality. The family Livry-Level is the owner of this charming hotel in Vezelay, one of the most beautiful villages of France. We have a lovely bar with a terrace, which offers a wonderful view on the Morvan, on the countryside of Vezelay. James to have a garden where you will be able to sit under trees in order to be quiet, to dream and to rest. This is a peaceful place for families and also for the dogs. The restaurant, whose the chef is Eric Ballan, proposes gastronomic menus. Concerning the rooms, the Hôtel de la Poste et du Lion d'Or can provide 38 rooms from single to suites without forgetting family rooms for 3 or 4 persons. So, if you are interested in discovering Vezelay on the Morvan, we are waiting for you, and it will be a pleasure to welcome you in this picturesque village and in our hotel. Thank you, and see you soon.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. So, where do we go from here? So, you're on again, Emmanuel.
Yes. So we spoke about having a wine tour. So visiting by car or by bus for groups. We spoke about cycling, but something very fun is to boat to visit Burgundy. And in that part of the region, we have the Canal du Nivernais. We are a very good region for boating. We have more than 1,000 kilometers of canals and rivers where you can boat. So we have for sure barge hotels for your clients who just want to have a cruise and high-level gastronomy and wines. That something fun is to rent a small boat, as you can see on the picture. It's a self-drive boat. It's very very calm, very quiet, and so you visit all along the river or the canal. You can have a bicycle on your boat and then go visit and come back to your boat.
That's a great way to experience.
It is. It is. We already spoke about bicycles, so by bike is a great experience too. And so we have many e-bikes now. So for every level, even for those who are not used to rent a bicycle, so you can rent a bicycle for half day, 1 day, or much more. And we can organize the carriage of your luggage if necessary.
E-bikes are something that we book quite often.
Yes, yes. And so hiking, so we spoke about Santiago de Compostela. We have many paths to go on foot. So Santiago de Compostela or other GR, you can visit the region on foot but you can mix by car, boating, on foot. So there are many possibilities to visit our Burgundy.
And you can hike portions of
Yes.
of the way of Santiago de Compostela.
True.
And Johnny, as you did, right? So you how many miles did you cover, Johnny? Do you
I
remember?
cover 80 miles in approximately, no, it were a little bit more, 90 miles in 7 days.
Right, good.
Yeah, it's from a small village in Spain called Osebrero, Santiago de Compostela. Yeah.
Hey, congrats.
So you can do that along any portion.
Oh yeah, you can do. Obviously, the goal is to reach Santiago de Compostela, obviously, but you can start from
Vezelay,
from Vezelay, even from Italy if you want. So, and then in Spain, when you are in Spain, there are multiple routing. We took the north part of the Santiago de Compostela Camino. There is one that goes along the coast and another one that goes a little bit more internally. We took the one more internally, and we were moving with our just backpack because the luggage were moving from one hotel to the other by themselves with obviously with the transfer service. And by the way, we found a lady while we were having lunch in one of the locations along the road. That was an American lady from, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember well, was from Seattle. That start from Rocamadour. So meaning she did about 300 miles walking, and but is a fantastic experience. Really, is something that you should do once in a lifetime because it's an incredible experience, incredible. And there are some portion of the trip that while walking seems to be on Fifth Avenue in New York. So many people, they are walking with you, and you meet people from all the world. There are people that they're doing the Camino on donkeys, or the people that they do on horses, or the people that do on bicycle. Yeah, there are any means of transportation except cars. You cannot use any motor vehicle to do bicycle, yes, donkeys, yes, horses, yes, walking, yes, and there are some pieces where you have to have really very good legs, really very good, because there are some portion that they are quite difficult, but is an experience that is unique.
What is our next slide? Thanks, Johnny. So now I'm did we cover all of our hotels? Yes, right.
Yes.
So we have given everybody kind of like a nice overview of this part of Burgundy. Hope everyone enjoyed it and got to learn quite a bit. So I want to say thank you to everybody who helped us put this together. And Johnny, we now have some.
Yes, we have our usual end of the presentation with the prices. As you can see on the screen, we have three prices this time. The 2 nights at the Château de Vaux, Ligny, 2 nights at the Hotel de la Poste, and the $300 from us as additional commission. Obviously, you can see all the feature, and the $300 goes to 1 second. Here he comes, Betty Houston. So Betty, he's yours. $300 are yours.
Congratulations, Betty.
The second prize, the 2 night stay at Hotel de la Poste, goes to Kimberly Martin. Kimberly.
Hey, Kimberly, congratulations.
Congratulations. And the price of Chateau de Vaux de Ligny goes to Emmy Hill. So Emmy Hill is you're gonna be with Kimberly heading to the Burgundy.
Good. That's good. Congratulations, everybody. And again, thank you, everybody, for helping us put this together. And remember, there's going to be another webinar that is focused on Burgundy, and that will be at the beginning of May. And we will send you out a notification, save the date. So again, thanks, everybody, for joining us. And have a great day wherever you are.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.